Good morning. You saw the title. Today we're doing number counter chooses my read. As you can see here, I have provided 8 options for the number counter. Sorry. I can't put 20 plus books on here. Most of these are from my fall TBR video. I've added a few just because they either came out, piqued my interest. The emojis tie meaning to the movie, or not the movie, to the book. They tie meaning to the book, so I'll just give you a brief description. I'll give you a brief description of them. So the things we water, she has a magical puppy, werewolf guy, hence the werewolf. Project Hail Mary, astronauts, he's in space, all by his lonesome. Recursion, time and memories play a huge part in the book. Bear Town, Hockey Town, big division in the town. Magic Hour, someone goes missing in the woods like a child and we've got to figure that out. Alchemized, that's a wand. There is only a magician's wand on there. They are necromancers, and the main female character, she has lost her memories, but she holds the key to some great plan that she cannot remember. Fall at Once, the dude's a firefighter, a single dad firefighter. It's just a small town romance. It's different this time. 2 previous roommates have to move back in together for a TV show. All right, let's do the random counter. Depending on what book I get, I will read 3. But if I get Alchemized, I'm only gonna read 2 books. Like, I'm just putting that out there. Alchemized is 1,000 pages, and I would be so surprised if I wanted to read something in a short amount of time like that. Okay, let's do random number generator. A number between 1 and 8. Let me get that screen record on ya. The only book that I don't want particularly is Bear Town, so if I get that would suck. But I just am not wanting to feel sad. Any of the other options I'm pretty much into. 1 through 8, let's generate. We got 4. You actually can't make that shit up. It wasn't listening to me? Whatever. I guess I have to read it. Ah! Oh my god, that was the only one that I was like, I don't feel like reading that right now. That's crazy. But I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna be honest. 5. Listen, I'm not doing 5. All right, I'm doing it again because I feel like it's literally just going in order. I want it to move around. It gave me 4 again. 2. I don't want to read Project Hail Mary and Bear Town at the same time. But I guess I'm going to. That's the whole point. Okay, so just for clarity's sake, it picked 3 and 4 like right after that. And I was like, I feel like it's going in order. So I didn't want to do that. I wanted it to be more like randomized. But it didn't even get to the lower portion. So we're reading Bear Town, Project Hail Mary, and I'm gonna do 1 more book just in case like I start reading these and I'm like, I genuinely have to DNF, soft DNF. I'm gonna pick 1 more book. And if it picks the next number, like if it picks 3, I'm not gonna do that because it's like going in order. 8. Okay, perfect. It's different this time. So we are reading, wow, okay, Project Hail Mary, Bear Town, and it's different this time. Okay, all right, that's what we're reading. It is going to be a big reading journey because already Bear Town, huge deal. And Project Hail Mary is also a huge deal. These are like 2 of the biggest books of this year, I would argue. A lot of people are rereading both of them. I see Bear Town being reread everywhere. Everyone's rereading Project Hail Mary because the movie is coming out, I believe, is it this year or the beginning of next year? But at least I'll be caught up. It's different this time. It is not out yet. It is a arc that I got from NetGalley, but it's a cute little fall romance. I'm pretty sure it comes out in November. Okay, I'm really nervous. Okay, we're gonna get to reading. Meeting has been in session and I finally decided what I'm going to read. Drum roll. Project Hail Mary. And I decided on this because I'm not ready to read Beartown. Sorry. I think I'm just ready. I decided that I wasn't going to start with a fall book. I thought it might be fun to go this Beartown fall book, but I might end up changing it, so don't quote me on that. We came outside to chat because it's a beautiful day and I'm home an hour early from work, so we're gonna get some reading in. But just in case you weren't aware, Project Hail Mary is being turned into a movie, already been turned into a movie, starring Ryan Gosling. So I will be watching that as soon as it comes out. And then it is about Rylan. He is the sole survivor in space and he is on a mission to save Earth, and if he doesn't complete this mission, Earth will all perish. The only problem is that he can't remember how, why, or who he is and why he's in space. Because he's the only one left alive. That's why, like, I've been interested in reading this in the first place, because it's like the entire book is one person and one person's POV. Because he's talking about all the hoses that are hooked up to him, like, as he's coming to. And it says there's one in each arm, one in each leg, and one in my gentleman's equipment. No need to be modest. Okay, I did not expect this to be low-key funny. Funnier writing than I was anticipating. I kind of thought this was going to be a very serious piece, and that's why I've been putting it off, because I was like, I'm just not in the mood to talk about space. Time to get a look at my fellow patients. I don't know who I am or why I'm here, but at least I'm not alone, and they're dead. Yep, definitely dead. And before this, it was like, what the heck was that? I remembered it all at once. It just kind of showed up in my head without warning. I didn't learn much about myself. I live in San Francisco, I remember that, and I like breakfast, and I used to be into astronomy, but now I'm not. Apparently my brain decided it was crucial that I remember that email, but not trivial things like my own name. Like, the writing is just like quippy, like very quippy and funny. I did just want to talk about the book a tad before I leave the house. I will say it is like quippy, very funny. Like, I enjoy the internal monologue. It's the external monologue, the dialogue in the flashbacks. It feels so forced. This is what I mean. Like, the dialogue is just really choppy in the flashbacks, because keep in mind, like, he is by himself on this spacecraft. So anytime he's talking like out loud or at all, it's internal or just to himself. But in his flashbacks, as he's trying to remember who he is, why he's here, whatever, that dialogue, it bothers me. Like, it's just really choppy. It's very unrealistic. I'll let you decide. He's having a conversation with someone who is in charge of him in this lab. One guy alone in a science lab, that's not how science works. There should be hundreds of people all over the world working on this. You're not alone in that thought, she said. I've had 3 different department heads call me today. Then let the other scientists in on it. No, why not? Astrophage is an alien microbe. What if it can affect humans? What if it's deadly? What if hazmat suits and neoprene gloves aren't enough protection? Wait a minute, am I a guinea pig? I'm a guinea pig. No, it's not like that. I stare at her, she stares at me, I stare at her. Okay, it's exactly like that. Dang it, that's just not cool. For the most part, the dialogue is like fine, but like the am I a guinea pig? No, it's not like that, it's exactly like that. Dang it is not how I would respond to finding out that I'm a guinea pig and I'm basically locked in this lab and they don't want to risk anyone more important than me coming in contact with alien microbe just in case it kills kills me. I wouldn't say dang it to that. There are other examples of this, but I feel like that probably best gets across my point of me just feeling like the dialogue's a little choppy, a little lacking in emotion, lacking in... I think it would have been better if he had added some internal thought, like, oh my god, like what do I do? Like, am I trapped here? Like, something that like a real person would have that feeling, because like he is a scientist, but at the end of the day, like, we are programmed to try to protect ourselves at all costs. So like, you'd think he'd try to get out or something, or try to think of a way to ensure his safety, something like that, or at least tally the likelihood of that happening, something. He's a very analytical guy. We're doing a lot of math in this book. I just feel like there should have been a little bit more emotion behind it. That's really my biggest complaint. I will say, for a book that contains a lot of math, a lot of scientific discussions, we're getting a lot of like definition type internal dialogue, like, oh, this is what this means, this is how I know that, blah, blah, blah. For a book that has a lot of that, it is moving fairly fast paced, which I am surprised about. The biggest reason that I wanted to read this is single person, single POV, alone in space, alone in the ether. How are you going to make that interesting for 478 pages? Like, how are you gonna make that interesting? I actually didn't know about the flashbacks. I imagined that there would be some memories, but I wasn't sure if it would mostly be like picking up on clues that are there, like, oh, here are my notes, oh, here's a journal, oh, here's my coworker's stuff. Like, I thought it might have been more like that, kind of like a scavenger hunt, racing its time within the ship. But I actually like the memory, like using the use of memories. It is a little bit convenient because you kind of remember things that move the plot along. It's going good so far. I'm reading at a slower pace just because there is literal math in here. Okay, it's been some time. I actually don't even remember the last time that I did an update, but I am almost done with Project Hail Mary. It's taking me a bit of time to read it. It's just so like vastly different from what I'm like used to reading. At times it can be kind of like a mouthful. I'll do a wrap up of my thoughts and everything once I actually finish it, but I kind of wanted to discuss the game plan for what I want to do next, because I definitely will be finishing this book today. Like, I'm so close to being done, and then we'll wrap that up. But I'm thinking what I'm gonna do is read It's Different This Time next, like on the Kindle, because that's the version that I was given from NetGalley. And then like as I'm reading that, I think I'm also gonna try to read Beartown at the same time as well. I think I may do Beartown as an audiobook. I have a credit on Audible, so cutie, cutesy fall, second chance versus heavy winter, heavy topic, serious topic. We have finished Project Hail Mary and we have started Beartown. So let's have a little chat, shall we? Starting with Project Hail Mary, I did just want to say the ending, if you've read this book, please let me know your thoughts. I cannot say anything about the ending. If you haven't read the book and you plan to see the movie, but you also do want to read the book before you go see the movie, I recommend not seeing the trailer. It might be kind of late for that now, but I never watched the trailer because I wanted to picture everything myself, if that makes sense. Space is one of those things that, like, whenever you're picturing stuff, it could be portrayed so differently on screen. Some of it was nothing like what I pictured. This book is so hard to talk about because any and everything is a spoiler, but I had a great time. It's a good book. I recommend it. There are a few plot twists. It doesn't have a generic ending. I really liked it. I did sit on my rating. I rated it 4 stars. And I'm gonna tell you why. Some of my biggest complaints about the book were that in the beginning, I think a natural reaction to finding out you're in space would be fear, or like some kind of like a rational response to that, just like, oh my god, what the hell, you know what I mean, like something, like some kind of outburst. There was no sense of dread really. It was just, and I I do think the book touched on this a bit. He knew these things and he didn't know why he knew them, like a math question or a conversion. Like, he knew it inherently, and he knew that he knew it. He knew how the spacesuits worked. So I do think that he inherently knew not to be afraid as well. I just think reading it, the first few pages and not knowing that, or the first few chapters and not knowing that I was kind of like, I just felt like there was no reaction to these things. It was just a lot of like quippy jokes. Like, yes, it was still funny, but that's why I'm giving it like 4 stars, 4.5, whatever you want to say, instead of a 5 stars. I just felt like a lot of times his reactions didn't match the like thing that was going on. But overall, really good. It made a lot of the technical science aspects really easy to understand. I think it is just a really good wet your feet going into sci-fi. Even if you didn't enjoy this book, even if you didn't enjoy the space aspect, whatever, you do just kind of have to admit that it is incredibly impressive to write a book of this caliber with talking about advanced topics and making it so easily accessible. 5 stars to the author, 4.5 to the book. On to Beartown. I am doing the audiobook. However, I'm looking at it now and I'm really glad that I am. This book doesn't separate it like a lot of other books do, where it's chapter by chapter and each chapter is a different person's point of view. So on this page, right, it's separated into paragraphs, and so the first page is for Kira, and then it's for Peter, and then it's from a mom's point of view, and then it's from a team captain's point of view. So it's separated by paragraph instead of chapter per person, and I think that would bother me. So I think it being an audiobook is making it more interesting. I think that would get old to me personally over time, but I just have to read. The opening line of this book is actually crazy. Late one evening toward the end of March, a teenager picked up a double-barrel shotgun, walked into the forest, and put the gun to someone else's forehead and pulled the trigger. And then the next sentence is, this is how we got here. And that's the opening to the book. That's like chapter 1. This is a hockey town. It's a really poor town. The only thing that is keeping this town from like just dying and like wanting to die or whatever and let the winter just take them or moving away is the love of hockey, the love of the game. It's so cold that even the animals have a hard time surviving there. That's just kind of like a way to paint the picture for you. And so this love of hockey that is ingrained in so many of the people in the community, and just the way that they see it as the future, they see it as a way out, they see it as like this beacon of light that gives them something else to take away the worry for a moment. I haven't finished it yet. I'm almost done with it. I can definitely see and understand why people love this book so much. I can see why people would recommend it, why they feel so strongly for it. I do think that perhaps this is the best book that they've read, just in terms of writing, because Frederick Bachman, he is a very good writer. This book is very quotable. This book genuinely has a person, a message that could relate to anyone. Like, and I mean that so genuinely. This book, while it is good, it is very frustrating and exhausting. It is truly so exhausting to read. It is just a book of miserable people in a town where hockey is everyone's haven, their saving grace, but it also has led to the demise of so many people. It's either you are the 1% who can achieve this dream and either make it out of this town or bring money and awareness to the town, or you failed, like you didn't get picked up or you got injured, because hockey is a very violent sport, and in this town there's no time for rehabilitation. Like, you broke your leg, you're out forever, you know what I mean? My biggest gripe with the book, and probably why I won't give it 5 stars, is because it is truly so exhausting to read. There are so many characters, and it's not even that I'm not capable of reading and understanding from each person's point of view. That's not what makes it exhausting. It makes it exhausting because we will spend like 1 or 2 sentences with someone and then we are immediately jumping into someone else's point of view. And over time, that becomes exhausting. Everyone has a point of view. I'm gonna list you just the main characters. Maya, Leo, Kira, Peter, Anna, Kevin, Benji, David, Ahmed, Fatima, Soon, Life, Zach, Audrey, Ramona, Lars, Bobo, William. Those are just the main characters. That's not even all the POVs we get. We get POVs from random people for a split second in time. We get POVs from people in the stadium watching the game. We get POVs from their nurses in the hospital attending to someone who has just been assaulted. And it is truly such an exhausting read because the subject matter is not easy to read either. So it's just like, I'm so tired of reading, and it's not fun, but like I understand the message. Like, I do understand how powerful this book is and why so many people love it, but it is truly one of the most exhausting books I've ever read, and I'm tired. I don't know how people recommend this book with such a light heart, like just so lightheartedly recommend it to people. I don't understand how they don't just feel so bombarded and like beat down by it. I've not read a book with this many POVs since Game of Thrones, and even that is not even comparable, because this, I mean, I showed you a chapter earlier, like in that chapter on the page, like it was 4 people's POV and it's not even separated by names. You just have to start reading the sentence to figure out whose mind you're in, and it can literally be 1 to 2 sentences with someone and then you are jumping to someone else's brain. It's one of those stories that it is just unfortunately how these small towns interact and how they would treat someone. Like, it doesn't matter who you are. If you're getting in the way of this town's one thing that brings them joy, they don't care what they did. They don't care how bad it is. You're the problem and you need to go. I don't even know if I would, like, this book is good, but I don't even know if I would recommend it, just because of, like, you would have to be someone who genuinely likes books like this for me to be like, you need to read this. However, the way that people just so flippantly are recommending this book all the time, I'm like low-key baffled that I've never heard like, I don't know, just like the subject matter, like, yes, I understood that it was going to be tough, but I've genuinely never heard someone talk about how exhausting this book is. I'm tired. I am tired. Like, it is just bad thing, bad thing, bad thing, bad thing, bad thing, bad thing, bad thing. In this book, there is a assault that takes place, and it is, the way it's written, it was handled very tactfully, and I really appreciate that. Yeah, right now I'm sitting at a solid 4, because at the end of the day, although I'm exhausted and I'm ready for it to be over, just for the pure fact of like the subject matter is like hard, not because it's a bad book, but subject matter's hard. My biggest complaint is, like, although the writing is really good, there's this thing that he likes to do that gets really old to me. In a house at the table, a parent sits. In a town, cold and dark, a hockey game begins. In the stands, a mom and daughter share a glance. In a house on the 2nd floor. Like, he does that, and like that's how he'll introduce like his big, like a big monologue moment, moving, like shifting the thing. I'm so tired of the in a place, like it's the same 3 lines basically, but like insert different things into it. That gets old, and that's why it's like at a 4 for me, regardless of the subject. I'm like, yeah, like it's good writing, it's very good writing, but that is very repetitive to me, and I don't like that. We finished the book, like freshly finished. It was a really good book. Very impactful, important stories. I did not have fun reading it. And there's a very big difference in that. A lot of times I'm just like, I'm trying to read for enjoyment, whatever. Like, I'm just trying to have a holly jolly time. Life's depressing enough. Yeah, that's what this book is. Like, wonderful messaging, amazing writing, important stories, important voices. I really liked the ending, actually. I really did like the ending more so than I anticipated. Justice isn't always just. We have to take it into our own hands, but I like that this one didn't necessarily ruin the victim's future. Does that make sense? In so many other ways, like her reputation, all that is taken from her, but she doesn't ruin it in the way that you think she will. I would only read this if you genuinely like sad books, if you like books that are thought-provoking, or if you want to deal with any kind of like social issues like that, I would reach for this book. Otherwise, like, I would still steer clear. Definitely check the trigger warnings. This does deal with like rape, homophobia, you know, just violence of all sorts, and low-key ice mob. I didn't enjoy it. I didn't have fun, but great story, powerful story, wonderful messaging, and superb writing. My final rating is a 4 because, again, I didn't really have fun, and the thing about the in a house, at a table, in a town, in the snow, in a town that resemblant of the bear, in an office, at night, like, literally that got on my nerves so much. But other than that, wonderful writing. I'm gonna take a break tonight though, like, I need a break. harsh subject matter. So yeah, tomorrow will be silly, goofy, and I better laugh, I better have a good time, like 2 serious books back to back. So, I'm sure after that beautiful montage, you're expecting, like, a beautiful glowing review of the book. Well, I apologize. Okay, so here's the problem. This book just did not stand a chance in comparison to Beartown, a very powerful, impactful, emotional story, very hard-hitting, made me feel all kinds of things, discomfort being the main element, but, like, obviously great writing, a very complex story. And then you have Project Hail Mary, which also, like, very scientifically based, and we've got a lot going on. It's very hard to make a story from a single point of view very interesting, and yet it was done. 2 very well written, very thick in plot books. Like, that's they're not comparable, honestly. So that was the first issue. I'm announcing this is my softy enough. Like, I genuinely can't push through. Not only is it just, like, vastly different, it's just not hitting. The writing is not, like, bad or anything. It's just the main character is already doing stuff that I just absolutely despise, and, like, I find myself, I have physically cringed twice. Physically cringed twice. One time, she was listening to someone talk, and she was like, am I getting turned on? And I'm like, I hope not. This is, like, you don't even know them. That's weird. I don't know. Ew. Like, and it wasn't even, like, they weren't even sexy talking. Like, it was, I don't know. Like, it's not even like they were flirting. It was just, like, they were having a normal conversation. And I'm like, cringe. Secondly, talking to that same guy, but, like, in the past now. And again, they're not really flirting, but, like, kind of, like, low-key flirting, but, like, still, just, ew, imagining this play out in real life actually is gonna put me in a coma. So they're talking, and they're like, well, are there any other weird things you do? Because they're gonna be roommates. And she was like, well, sometimes I sing in the shower, but I could definitely stop. And he was like, don't. And then and then she bit her lip. Huh? Like, no, I'm freaking gagged right now. Like, why was that the response? Like, no, I get flirting. Like, whatever. Whatever. Like,
people flirt in different ways, whatever. But like biting your lip to that is crazy. And this is like the second time they had met. It wasn't even like they had a good foundation going. This is a stranger she's talked to all of 5 minutes. Crazy. That's crazy. That's a crazy response, and you can't convince me it's not. So I will be soft DNFing it. I did get it as a NetGalley arc, so there is a chance that I will read it in the future. My deadline is probably over now that the book is out, but like it's still in my thing to give a review, so I will still try to do that. But for the purpose of this video, I can't. Like, I have to step away after that because every book gets one physically cringe before I have to just bow out for my own sanity. Like, I can't do this. This reading vlog, I started this 2 weeks ago and I just can't do it. I'm like, we have to end this. Like, I've got other stuff going on. And if you've made it all the way to the end of the video, I am gonna, like, I just filmed it, but like I am gonna be releasing a video talking about book mess. So if you're into that, get ready to give me your ideas for that. And if you want to go ahead and leave some on this video, I will hear them. I will take your opinion. But if you want to wait until the other video comes out, that's fine too. I have hair in my mouth. Like, I can't find like if it's attached to my head or not. Come ready with some ideas, some like what days you're interested in having it. Most people do it the days leading up to Christmas. I thought about doing it the first 2 weeks. Just let me know. That video is going to have way more information about it because I wanted it to be like the one place where I'm looking for any ideas or things that you don't want to see in this Bookmas season coming up. So literally just be on the lookout for that. As for this reading vlog, sayonara, goodbye, adios. I'm tired. I'm tired. I want to read something for fun. You know what I mean? Like, it got to a point where I was like, I think I'm just reading this because I feel like I need to finish it, and I can't. I can't. Like, it's driving me insane. Like, somebody check me into the mental institution. 2 4-star reads and 1 soft DNF. I call that a win. And 2 of the books I've been putting off on my TBR for the longest time because I was so scared of them. But honestly, it turned out fine. Like I said, I didn't really enjoy Beartown, but like, it is a good book. But like, also, I have to be the window's open. I have to be in that headspace to read stuff like that, and I think I was just kind of thrown into it without going in being like, okay, this is really gonna suck. Like, let's put on that safety jacket, let's, you know, put our helmets on and like prepare ourselves. This is not gonna be fun. And then I just go into it and I'm like, yeah, I'm on the verge of tears. But yeah, had fun. Hope you enjoyed this. If there are any other videos you want to see, any recommendations for Bookmas, leave them below, please and thank you. I will be looking and listening.